Hey, Brad, one of the biggest changes we're all dealing with right now is wearing a mask, and not all offer the same comfort and protection. I recommend the Boomer Natural 3-layer comfortable and highly breathable mask. These come in sizes for adults, teens, and children, and are in stock and be shipped to you quick.
Yeah, Book, one of the reasons they're so highly protective is because of the nano silver technology that's literally woven right into the fabric. Nano silver can block those tiny drops and particles from getting into the nose and mouth, and that's what we want right now. It's the best protection out there. Boomer also offers the popular nano silver neck gaiters. That's a mask that'll cover your neck and face. Another great thing is that Boomer will donate one face cover for every order to nonprofits and charities, helping tens of thousands of Americans in need, and I got to say, I love that.
Yeah, order now at boomernaturals.com. Use promo code Booker and save 20%. That code Booker at boomernaturals.com. Get free shipping and handling when you spend at least $50 online at boomernaturals.com. Everything is crazy. But I want to give a shout out. There's a couple of people sitting on comments, man. I definitely told people if you're going to comment, I'm definitely going to get back with you on some of them. Anyway, Stephen Tremblay was asking me if it was anything I would do differently in my wrestling career. You know what? I really don't think so, man. I really don't think it was anything that I would do differently. Just because I pretty much did, I would change the outcome in the WrestleMania match with Triple H. You know, that's about the only thing that I think that I would do differently.
Right.
But anything other than that right there, I don't think I would change it at all. I mean, because getting into the business was all about going out and there again means of support for the fam, man, making sure I take care. The men always take care of their family, man. That's what men do. And I've always put myself in that category right there as far as being able to go out and, take care of my family, man. At the end of the day, that's what it's all, that for me is what it has been all about for all of these years. I'm serious. So I don't think I would change anything.
You bring up the WrestleMania 19 thing, and you say you would go back and change that if you could. Have you and Triple H ever discussed that match afterward? Because I know y'all worked together subsequent times afterward, even main eventing a SummerSlam together. Did y'all ever have a conversation, or did Triple H ever say, "Man, Book, we should have done it differently," or was it just business? And I'm going to keep it moving. You keep it moving. It's just another night.
It was business. It was business. Just like, until I had Jeff Jarrett on the show and we talked about, Bash at the Beach. It was the first time Jeff and I had ever uttered a word about it.
Right.
Because it wasn't about, us, getting our thrills off of what happened that night, because at the end of the night, Jeff got paid, I got paid, and we all went home, and hopefully we live to do it another day. That's what for me it was all about. Even with the Triple H match, man, I'm gonna tell you, I forgot it, and I've said this several times, but I forgot all about that match after I got the check. I did. I'm serious, man. I forgot all about that. I'm serious, man. When you get a check big enough to where you can pay for your house, you don't think about the title or the match or anything like that. You think about, good God. I come from South Park, Texas, okay? I'm used to getting, checks every 2 weeks, from the job, and the zeros, normally, what there was, you know what I mean? But when I got in the wrestling business and I started seeing those checks, man, the last thing I was thinking about was the title, other than being the best guy in the locker room so I could keep getting those checks. That's it. That is it.
But you've always said it's about checks and championships.
The two go together.
They go together.
The checks and the championships go together. And the thing is, you can't get the check if you ain't championship quality. You got to be a guy that they are giving the ball to. It's like the running back, the quarterback, the wide receiver. You ain't got to think about how much money those guys are making and what kind of contracts those guys are getting. They're getting paid. All right. It's the guys that play within the middle. Those guys, the ones that got to be extraordinary before you start hearing about how much money they get paid. You know what I mean? So for me, it was about being the best guy in the locker room, having a title around my waist, because if I had a title around my waist, that meant that I had a certain position, you know, in the company. I knew I was going to have a certain position on the card, as well as I was going to have a certain position as far as how much money that I was going to be making. So at the end of the day, I was strategizing on the checks and the championships, preferably the championships and the checks.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know, I know that match and that night comes up all the time, and I still see it on Twitter all the time. People getting into arguments to this day about that match. And it made me wonder, because I remember WrestleMania 35, MetLife Stadium, when Kofi went out there and he won the world title. It was such a special moment, right? I remember sitting there in the box, and you almost got a little emotional watching it. Like, wow, man, that's crazy. Do you think that if you would have won the title back then, that Kofi moment would have been special like it was? Or do you think that you not winning the title set kind of this emotions going toward that ultimate goal that we got in front of 80,000?
Honestly, I think it wouldn't have been as celebratory as I think people make it out to be. I think a lot of people did want me to win that night.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't, care if I lost or not. In the moment as well, the difference between myself and Kofi. I think the moment that we're in right now in society, I think that's one of the really, really big reasons we need to Kofi to win that night. Just because what's going on in our culture right now in life, So I think the moment for Kofi winning was so much more important for him winning than it was for me, because that moment pretty much, solidified Kofi Kingston as being a guy that came through this business, a guy that won the world championship. For me, I won so many world titles, it ain't even funny, so it's a big difference. I won all of the titles except that one, Kofi hadn't had that chance to win all the other titles that I did, and do the things that I did at the top level, taking nothing away from Kofi, but his moment and my moment were just two different things. Would it have been great for a lot of people? I think so, but there again, I just think as far as it being as important, what moment needed it the most, I think Kofi Kingston's moment needed it more than my moment.
Wow, yeah, I never thought about it when you say it like that. But you already had won the world title in WCW, second African American champion ever. The second guy to ever do it was you.
Then I won the world title in WWE as well. And
then you won the world title in WWE. And people forget, you actually won your 5th WCW title in WWE.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you definitely had a couple moments. But I think that, retrospectively, I remember watching WrestleMania 19. And I was cheering for you to win, not for maybe the same reasons other people were. I was like, oh, Booker T's from Houston. That's my guy. I'm going to go for Booker in this match, right? And you were the babyface. But I think looking back at it, it would have been a moment, but like what you just said that I never thought about, the time period that we were living in and continue to live in, we were just talking about it earlier in the show, for Kofi to win it in the time that he did, I think you're right. It's a bigger moment.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel that way. That's why I was really pushing for Kofi to win. I remember at Wale's party, I put Kofi over. At the Hall of Fame speech, I made sure I put Kofi over, and made sure I want the world to know that I was pulling for him. Just because, not that I was sad about my moment or anything like that, because I honestly can tell you, man, I swear to God, I've never lost one moment of sleep about losing a wrestling match. I just never have. I just never have lost a moment about going out and losing a wrestling match. because I always felt, man, if it was real, I would have been the one-time world heavyweight champion, and I would have retired as the world heavyweight champion because none of them suckers would have been able to beat me. You know what I mean? That's just the way I feel about that. I don't care. I'm just putting it out there. Iron Sheik, you know what I mean? I heard him talking like he wanted to do something. You know what I mean? I heard they talking about Ming. Ming, he probably would have gave me a little haku. He would have gave me a little trouble. But at the end of the day, I'd have got rid of him too. And all the rest of them suckers that thought, you know what? They know. All the ladies, they know. Hey,